Good morning, everybody. This is my friend Hannah.
Good morning.
And today I'm going to be asking you questions about Taylor Swift, featuring the Taylor Fest t-shirt.
Taylor Fest.
I'm losing my voice, so I'm sorry that I sound like crap right now. But my first question, what era do you think you're in right now? For those who don't know, I'm sure you'll figure it out. There's an era for each album. So
I feel like right now I'm kind of in 1989.
Why?
Like, I'm kind of just vibing without a guy right now. I'm just having fun with my friends, and she wrote a song about, like, moving to New York and, like, having fun with her friends and how her life is good.
This ain't New York, girl.
But
Nice.
but it's definitely not New York. But, like, I moved away from, like, my hometown, and now I'm just, like, having a good time with my friends, and I feel like that's what 1989 is kind of all about.
Personally, I think I'm in my Reputation era. Or entering
your Reputation
I'm like,
era, I feel like.
We're almost there.
I feel like you were in Red, and then, like, you were also in 1989. You kind of moved through it, but with a guy,
yeah.
And then shit fell through, and now you're entering your Reputation era.
Yeah.
Which you know how the end of Reputation ends.
Yeah. Because, like, she gets a man. But, like, my man's gone.
Are we allowed to cuss on podcasts?
Today we are.
Because fuck that guy.
Fuck him. So, second question. What's your favorite song of all time of all Taylor?
Do I have to choose one?
You can get 3.
Okay. Well, my, like, all-time, like, has always been on, like, my top 5 that I've played every single year is Enchanted. And I want to put emphasis on the fact that I liked it before it was popular to like it. It was literally my song, and then the bridge went trending because it was, like, the Please Don't Be in Love with Someone Else. And then everyone started listening to it, which pissed me off beyond measure. But anyway, so Enchanted is definitely up there, and I feel like Exile, the Long Pond studio session.
There's a difference.
There is a difference, and it has to be the Long Pond studio session one. And then I think my third would probably be Clean. Mm-hmm. Because it's just, like, it's literally my anthem in so many ways, because you can feel clean from so many different things. Like, I can feel clean from, like, my life at home, you know, moving to college. I can feel clean from, like, my ex that was manipulative, and now I'm away from him, and now I feel clean. I can feel clean from, like, things that I've gone through in the past, like, and I mean, some of what she's singing about is, like, her eating disorder and, like, how she got through that, and so, like, I can personally relate to that as well, so I feel like that song is just my anthem in so many ways.
Good choices. All good choices.
Thank
I
you.
personally can't even pick 3. Like, I can't. I physically can't even do it.
Although, like, I literally could go through her entire discography and, like, know all the songs, sometimes you don't, like, understand the lyrics at first, and if I, like, start understanding the lyrics, that song will be on repeat for, like, months.
Sometimes you don't relate to a song until something happens to you.
And I feel like Midnights, I haven't quite related to each of them as well.
Yeah, but I think once we get older,
we will start
we grow
relating
with
to them
her
again.
music.
And, like, we've grown up with her.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. But, like, right now, the only ones that I can even slightly, like, relate to on Midnights are, it's, like, You're on Your Own Kid, obviously, and then, I guess, a little bit of Mastermind, especially I think it is the bridge in the song. The part's like, no one wanted to play with me as a little kid.
Yes.
So I've been scheming like a criminal ever since to make them love me and make it seem effortless. This is the first time I felt the need to confess, and I relate to that on a entire different level.
I'm currently on a Karma binge right now. I just listen to it every day, and I think that I'm, like, manifesting karma for the people I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's gonna work, right?
I think
you're
it could.
speaking the words
Manifesting
into
is a powerful thing.
existence. Next question: If you had to get rid of one album out of her entire discography, which would it be?
Fearless.
But why?
I've never liked Fearless very much. I grew up on Debut, and then I skipped straight to Speak Now. And, like, I was never a Fearless person.
You never had that part in your life.
The only ones that I like off of it are obviously, like, Love Story and, like, You Belong With Me. But honestly, like, all the other ones, like, I don't relate to them. I haven't found one that I really like besides Forever and Always, the piano version. But that's even on, like, Fearless Taylor's version. And so, like, I don't know, the rest of them I just don't get. They're just, like, a little bit too, like,
juvenile. They're too, like, young.
I was gonna say little kid, but, like, even Debut feels older than Fearless to me, for some reason. I mean, I have no idea if this could be, but, like, I know that Fearless was kind of the era where people went down on her for, like, having, like, co-writers and stuff, and I don't know if I just like her voice better. Maybe that's why I haven't related to Fearless quite as well, because she did have co-writers, and I mean, it's not like she didn't write the songs, but, like, she did have co-writers and stuff, and
I can't wait for people to listen to this and not have a single clue what we're talking about.
It's gonna be hilarious. No,
I can't wait.
When Midnights came out, and I had my private story that was, like, just for, like, my Taylor Swift friends, I put, like, I have one of my friends on it, and she's not a Swiftie, like, really at all, but she's still on it just because I know it annoys her, and I put vigilante shit is so rep, and she goes, this is a whole other language. I was like, I had to, like, read it from an outside perspective for a second. I was like, bro, that really is a whole different
Because
language.
nobody knows what we're talking about. Okay, so next question: your favorite ex of Taylor Swift?
Well, as a child of divorce, I feel like my favorite ex is Harry Styles, but also I love Taylor Lautner only because, like, he didn't do anything to her. Like, he was genuinely, like, a good guy, and she left him, and so, like, I love Taylor Lautner.
I think Harry's my favorite because I'm very biased and I love Harry. And I feel like their relationship was so, like, chaotic.
It was. And I love that they
so
both had
much.
songs about each other. Like, the song
Yeah,
Style is about Harry
Style.
Styles, and then Isn't It Perfect is by
One Direction is about that. And
is
then,
about Taylor Swift.
Two Ghosts is about Taylor
Two
Swift.
Ghosts. But have you heard the unreleased song Him?
I have listened to it.
Ah! That drives me insane because he literally says, like, I was with you when you wrote that line. It was me that you had on your mind. So I don't want to hear about him. It literally, when I first heard those lyrics, I was like,
Damn.
I was like, shit, that's deep. Like, that is directed.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
There's just so much, like, lore that goes into being a Swiftie, and, like, when you're late to the party, you miss out on a lot.
You've missed out on so much.
So you gotta, like, catch up. You gotta do your studying.
Literally. And,
you
like,
gotta go back in time a little bit.
Actually, you know what set me into being, like, a total Swiftie? I mean, like, I've been a Swiftie since I was little, but there was one time where I was driving around with these, like, me and my friend were driving around with these two guys, and we were starting to get to know them, and we were like, what kind of music do you guys listen to? And they were like, well, we listen to a little bit of Taylor Swift, and I, like, my eyes lit up, because I've always loved Taylor Swift, but I made a playlist of all Taylor Swift songs, and I didn't have one of those before. This was my sophomore year, and I played that for them, and then I just started playing it all the time. And then now I have, like, 7 different playlists that are just Taylor Swift for 6, like, specific moods.
There's just so many different things that her songs are for. And people think that she only writes songs about breakups. But that's not true.
Folklore,
especially
evermore.
not anymore. Like, maybe before when she was under management and, like, they knew that's what would make her money.
Well,
they
yeah.
knew that's what people wanted from her.
But the thing that pisses me off is, like, Bruno Mars does the exact same thing.
Yeah,
all of
he
his
doesn't get
songs are love
called out.
songs. Ed Sheeran does the exact same thing. And Ed Sheeran and Taylor are friends, but, like, you can't ignore the fact that, like, Ed Sheeran writes love songs or breakup songs or, you know, like, songs about cheating. So does Bruno Mars. And when a guy does it, it's, like, strategic.
Okay.
But when a girl does it, it's playing the victim. It's being manipulative. It's being overdramatic. And that pisses me off.
Yeah.
And I've just always hated that double standard, especially watching Miss Americana.
Mm-hmm. You really get to see it. If you have not watched it, it's on Netflix. And if you have Netflix, you better go watch it right now.
Because actually, it didn't, like, change my perspective of her, but once that came out, I was like,
The respect for her is just, like, crazy. Because it gives you an insight into, like, what she goes through to get an album. And to write an album. And how she, like, deals with the media and all that stuff. And not a lot of people know that about her. Not a lot of people know what goes on behind the scenes. They're just like, oh, she just writes songs about her ex-boyfriends and releases them. Like, no. And it's also so strategic because they know, and she knows that people know her for writing breakup songs. So she's going to keep writing breakup songs because they get popular and they get talked about.
That's exactly what she did with Blank Space.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they basically...
She literally made fun of the fact that people think she's crazy.
Like, people thought she was crazy, and they thought that she was, like, a serial killer dater and all this stuff, and so she literally took that perspective, put it in a song, and it became one of her most successful songs. That song took over that entire... Like, I remember me and all my friends in our bios put...
Nightmare Dressed Like a Daydream.
Yes, because Darling, I'm a Nightmare Dressed Like a Daydream in our freaking Instagram bios.
Because it was a thing.
It was a thing. And then, like, the whole boys only want love if it's torture. That's, like, still so many people's, like...
Yeah, that's still so true.
Like, she took it and put it in perspective and then became so successful from it. And one of the things that hurts me the most about her music is that when she came out with Reputation, like, it didn't even get nominated for Album of the Year. And it's crazy to me.
It's an incredible album. It's great.
It's
like it gets me in the best
like,
mood.
Oh, 100%. Like, it's seriously one of her best albums. I haven't met a single Swiftie that doesn't have Reputation in their top 3. We're talking about Dress. We're talking about Getaway Car. We're talking about
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous. And then to finish off the album, like a super like acoustic, like low key song, like New Year's Day. Like, it's just.
And that's why it's also so good to listen to, in order.
Exactly.
I think it's fun to listen to it in order.
They all are. And then like especially, I love. Someone asked me one time, they're like, if you could only listen to one artist for the rest of your life, like, would it be Taylor Swift? And I was like, yes. You have country, you have pop, you have like,
a variety
indie,
there.
you have, like, rock, like, you have everything.
She's done pretty much everything, and people don't give her credit for it.
They don't. Exactly, they don't give her any credit for it.
Most people do not understand how much she has done and how many accomplishments she's had over all these years that she's been famous, and it's crazy how much impact she's had on the music industry in general.
It's insane.
It's crazy. And you would never. Some people just don't give a damn and, like, whatever, you do you.
And she's still
but give her credit.
Exactly. And she's still one of the only A-listers that actually attends award shows. Like.
And she sits with the people that aren't as popular. She doesn't go sit by all the big name people. That's just how she is.
That's how she became friends with Olivia Rodrigo, Conan Gray, you know, and then she doesn't like stay in the drama. Like she's really good friends with Olivia Rodrigo, but she sat by Sabrina Carpenter at like the award show, like, and like her and Selena Gomez's friendship is always like my favorite friendship because like Selena was in an interview and literally was talking about how she never really fit in with like the other people, and she was like, Taylor was like the only one that was genuinely nice to me.
Thank you all for listening today.
Taylor Swift podcast.
Taylor Swift podcast this week. Hope you all have a great day, weekend. Hope you have a great break. And I guess this is me signing out. This is my last podcast for this class, so.
Sincerely, Amanda and the crazy girl that got hypnotized into thinking Taylor Swift was in the audience.